depression and an introvert, I just figured out that a lot of people don't talk. When you ask the question, they simply tell you, I'm an introvert. How exactly does that relate to you not talking? I don't get it. You're an introvert and you don't talk. Is that an excuse? Permit me to have my erroneous belief that people who don't talk are the quickest to go into depression. Dr. Wemming, am I correct?
You've given me a title.
Am I correct?
Can you please rephrase it?
People who don't talk are the
Okay.
quickest to slide into depression.
Uh,
When I mean people
to
don't
some
talk, I
extent.
mean people who don't talk. It's not in my nature to talk. I'm an introvert. That's an excuse, and they just don't talk.
Okay, I like to say that depression is, everyone is prone to depression, but the risk is higher in those who are introverted. And the question is, who is exactly an introvert?
Omalola?
Because that was just
Who is an introvert?
No, you can define that for us because
I can't. Because most people think that because you're not outspoken, that's the word, you think you're an introvert.
But today, I could be quiet, but I'm still talking. My devices will help me exhale. Okay? So the question is, who exactly is an introvert? Being an introverted individual is somebody who is not all over the place physically. Somebody who cherishes his or her space, who loves to have privacy. Okay?
Some of us
now,
are extroverts, but we still love to have privacy.
the truth is, you could be friendly and still appreciate your privacy. Like, for example, each time I had the opportunity to speak or to talk about temperament, personalities, and all, a lot of people, I throw it open. I ask, so what do you think I am? It's very rare for them to pick what I am. Some says you are an introvert, some says you're an extrovert.
Exactly.
Okay? But the truth is, the fact that somebody is talking doesn't make that person an extrovert.
Okay. That's, yeah.
An extrovert is somebody who could be closed. Introvert is somebody who could be closed up. And people tend to see them as secretive.
Okay.
All right? But people need to understand the difference between being secretive and being a private person. Yeah. So introverts are not totally secretive. They are actually private people. They love their information managed by themselves. And if at all they release it to you, they tell you 2 out of 10. So you think you know them. No, you really don't. Okay. So introverts are people who they love their space. Okay. They love their environment to themselves. And they can be very selective because all they do is within. They are they are deep thinkers. All right.
so they're not one of those people who are.
No. They are deep thinkers. They read they attach meaning to everything. Yes, they give meaning to everything, whether it makes sense or not. It's their world. Yeah, and they are not people persons. It's not like they don't have friends. They have friends. They are selective, deliberately, but they are not people person. They are not party people all over the place and all. They are usually deliberate with everything they do.
How exactly does it relate to being depressed?
Now, because most introverted people, they find it difficult to trust. Trust is one of the issues they have. Why? Because apart from their person being closed up, permit me to use that word, they may have experienced one form of betrayal or another. Okay, their experiences with life, contributes to them being more introverted. Then the tutorship they have received by maybe someone who mentored them, you don't do it this way, you do it this way, they've taken it in. And one thing about introverts is you think they are not sinking it in because they are quiet because they are reserved. Let me use that word.
Reserved.
Because some introverts are not actually quiet. All right? They are not mute. They are just reserved. They use their logical much more than being spontaneous. Do you get it? So they have reasons behind everything they do. They have reasons. You can never tell an introverted person like you are challenging him or her why. They will tell you why they think they are doing what they are doing, even when it is wrong. Yes. Introverts are calculative. Okay? Because they can see the flaws, they can see opportunities, because they are reserved. They are inside the box, at the same time they are outside the box. So they have a wider perspective to things. But if they have now been negatively influenced by their experiences, by people's dealing, by family backgrounds, by education and all, then you now see that mean side of them. Yeah. So when you talk about an introvert being depressed, those factors make them withdraw. Now, depression on its own make people withdraw. But the intensity of withdrawal in an introverted one makes the person more withdrawn. So you need to know how to strike a balance. Now, it's easier to identify an extroverted who is depressed, because the person will just flip and give you the opposite of who they used to be. Yeah. Or they give you the hyper of who they used to be, depending on their temperament. But whether temperament or not, the introverted ones, you have to look out for it. They easily get discouraged. Then they start to talk negative, they start to talk dark, in quotes. They don't see anything bright in things around them, in people, or in themselves. Their write-up depicts loss of hope. Okay? Their write-ups or the way they talk now begin to depict disappointment in people. They tend to go towards being philosophical with life. Okay? But in the negative. All right, they are the ones who come up with ideologies based on what they've experienced. So when you see those things, start noticing. Don't ever leave an introverted person when you start to see them. Break that cocoon deliberately. Let them get upset, but let's save you.
So they
must be
actually
deliberate
can need
about it.
saving.
Yeah, because within that period of depression and all, they are going to block you out of their lives. So the moment you see that, I know you're reserved, I know you're quiet, but I can see that you are quieter, and it's like
you
you
used
now
to
live
be.
in the Aso Rock. No, let us go to Goshere. Come out. Okay, don't ever leave the individual alone. Yeah, and you must be able to buy their trust too, because the introverts have issues with trust. They don't plan to. That's who they are. So, but you must identify that window. Now, every individual has a window of penetration. You must identify it. You must identify it. Some is when you help them. Some is just, I'm calling to check. Some is just leaving messages. Now, when you keep calling and calling, when an introverted person gets into depression, the way their responses becomes reduced. They are not interested in anything anymore. And within that period, the hormone that comes into them is this repressive hormone. They are just slow, they are not interested in anything, their expression and their emotion is down and low. Then you also pick it in the way they look, the way they dress. So people should start paying attention deliberately to people. Don't just pay attention to them because, yeah, my crush for today, like Inka Kenny is. So, if tomorrow she's not, I should be able to say,
Something is missing somewhere.
okay. So don't always pick interest in people when they are in their brighter mood alone.
Take deep interest.
Be interested in them. You're not looking good today. Are you okay? Be deliberate about it.
But another thing I'd like to ask is When talking about depression, at one point, because I see a lot of people use that word loosely, I'm just depressed. I think the person is just depressed.
Because
And I'm like,
that's the only expression.
do you understand? But I feel like depression
It's
is
deeper.
It's deeper. You cannot just be sad and say you're depressed.
Depression is sorry to cut you.
No, I just
Depression
want to
is
know.
a feeling of sadness
Okay.
that lingers. You know, when we're talking about emotion, sadness is a form of emotion. But something could happen to me between here and there, and I felt sad. But if I carried that thing 1 week, 2 weeks, and it's beginning to tell and touch another thing, then I'm depressed.
Oh.
So people need to know. Then there are people who have mild depression, and you have the real heavy depression. The real heavy ones are the ones who now disconnect totally from their person, from who they are. They lost touch with their person. Yeah, they no longer pay attention to themselves. They no longer want to do what they do naturally and they enjoy doing. Now, for those who have mild depression, I would say everybody in Nigeria has mild depression. Because something somewhere will puncture your happiness
And just keep something
happen.
there.
But if it lingers for so long a time, let's say 7 days, 1 week, 1 month, then it is depression. It's a different thing maybe when someone is having lots of sleep, appetite, lots of appetite, huge appetite. And
Well, there are signs.
Oh, there are signs, really, but they are mad, which can still be corrected if we look into it and you are able to identify the triggers.
We need to go. Oh my. Conversation this morning has been so full because we really need to delve into some of these issues. We're going through trying times across the world right now, and it's important that we take care of ourselves by taking care of our neighbors and our friends and our family members. Thank you so much, Wemi, for being here this morning. We'll always enjoy every minute of the lessons that we go on with. And I hope our people are also deeply, deeply inspired. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll round off the program. Yes, we're back, and that's the last lap of the bumper breakfast. Yinka Kenny, how do you close?
Depression. Well, having said all that, I will just go back to where I started from. Be careful about the way you deal with people, knowing fully well that everybody has something that the person, one thing or the other, the person is dealing with. Everybody is moving with a baggage. So try and be nice to everybody. I'm Yinka Kenny. See you.
Well, I just, add to what Yinka Kenny had said. He said everyone is going through one ordeal or the other. So, the best thing you can do for them really is to be kind. Just be kind. A little kindness in the heart so that, we can all be a better place. We can all be nice to each other.
All right, and that's it on the Bumper Breakfast. Many thanks for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, Community Report comes up tomorrow, so please get your messages, your strange happenings in your environment. Take a video, take a picture, send to us on the Bumper Breakfast. We'll put it out there and call government attention to it. And if you have a business, you have a service that you like to advertise, the number for both is 080-6473-8133. Call me and let's have a conversation. Have a beautiful day and keep safe. Keep safe.